Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Take a second real quick. All right, first thing and foremost, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of a great millstone, and shalom to you, hopefully elect. All right, and just through the spirit, as the title goes, pretty much that's that spirit of just being down and out, that woe was me, just having that low energy, low vibration. All right, and listen, because I'm gonna just say this, because we're all feeling it. All right, as these attacks ramp up and brothers get hit more and more. All right, because we are coming into that time, you see, where the straight gate, all right, where things, again, more and more are going to get tight. Things are going to become more and more difficult. More and more, all right, we're all going to feel the squeeze around the board. We've been feeling the squeeze, all right, but again, it's only going to ramp up. And with that being said, again, because being that we're so close to the end, like the saying goes, I can taste it, right? We can feel it. And I was watching a video yesterday, and I was intending on doing this yesterday, actually, but for whatever reason, I was having technical difficulties. But I was watching a video yesterday by this guy, Angry Pepper, because we're not the only ones, to those of us in the know, we're not the only ones that feel this impending destruction. As I've been talking about all year, all right, this feeling of anticipation, like the Lord's about to do something, all right? We're not the only ones that feel this feeling, all right? The average, for the most part, individual out here, they feel it too. And I was watching Angry Prepper yesterday. He was touching on it, about this impending feeling of, I forgot how he said it, but basically that feeling like something's getting ready to pop off, something's getting ready to happen. All right. And we know it's only a matter of time before, hey, as the scriptures say, rumor upon rumor, then violence. Because we're not going to be speaking these words, because, to these people, they're just words on a paper, words in a book. All right. But eventually it's going to go from us speaking these words to living it, going through it. All right. It's going to be our reality. All right. I was going to get this because, again, we are coming in to that straight gate. All right. But fret not, man, because, I'm going to get this real quick. Before I get that, I'm going to get this. Because we understand that this has to happen. All right. What's getting ready to play out, it has to take place. And I was with a beautiful beloved brother yesterday, and we were just talking a little bit, because the fact that as we become more seasoned, all right, as we mature in this faith, it's just our mindset, it changes. We become different, because when we first heard this truth, and this is a problem with a lot of these so-called leaders in Israel, and that's why brothers always say, keep the main thing, all right? Because when we first heard this truth, there was a certain thing of fear, all right? And it was a thing of salvation, You know, like our mind was geared towards salvation and hoping that, hey, the Lord bestows his mercies upon us. You know, we were terrified. We were afraid. And it's like, damn, you know, because we heard that, you know, Jacob's trouble and such is going to take place, famine. And it's like, damn. But like I was saying, with a lot of these so-called leaders, they lost sight. They lost focus on what the mission is. And that is, again, ultimately salvation. We want to be saved. You see, because I was saying how in the beginning, when we first heard this truth, you know, and this is like, man, you know, like Habakkuk said, he said, revive thy works in the midst of the years, right? It's like, man, I don't want to be here when none of this happens, right? Lord, just take me home now, right? A lot of us were in that spirit, like, man, we want to go home now. We don't want to be here. But we develop, we mature, right? And we get to a point where it's just like, man, I'm curious to see how this plays out. Like, as much as we'd rather be in the spiritual realm, all of us, but there's some part of us that's just like, I actually want to be here. I want to see this thing play out. Like it talks about 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. And all those that get saved, basically the elect are going to see the salvation. All right. They're going to live through Jacob's trouble. They're going to be preserved through it. All right. They're going to be preserved through Jacob's trouble. And they're going to make it to see Yahushua make his second return. So, like I was saying, this, as much as we'd rather be in the spiritual realm, there's a part of us that wants to actually be here. We want to see how this plays out when this thing goes down, which takes a level of faith. All right. Because again, we go from not wanting to be here to, hey, Lord willing, us being preserved, you know, and seeing this play out. Right. But nevertheless, I'm gonna get this in 2nd Ezra 7:43. It says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of immortality for to come wherein corruption is past. So again, these things have to play out. All right. These things have to play out in order for, because all this is going to usher in the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. It's going to usher in the Lord's second coming. You see? So these things have to happen. This day of doom, this time of Jacob's trouble, a time that has never been since the world was created, pursuant to Daniel 12:1. Right? Now I'm going to go to this. All right? Because yes, all hell's going to break loose. Yes, this is going to be literally the worst time in history known to man. But fret not. And that's why Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. So, because you see, we need daily exhortation. We need daily comfort. Hey, the Lord he has to renew our strength on the day-to-day basis. All right. Because it's easy to get in that down and out spirit, that woe was me, I can't do this anymore. Just being dramatic, you know, which that's a trait. That's what women do. All right. Leave all that for the women. As far as being dramatic and, you know, the boo-hooing and, you know, again, going back to the topic, man. Hey, we don't have time for that. We're so close. Like I said, we're so close. We can feel it. We can feel it. We can feel it, man. We can sense it. Hell, these people, they can sense it. They can feel something's getting ready to happen. But they're still clinging on to a false hope. That's why the scripture said we have a lively hope. All right? We have a lively hope. All right? So we don't have time to be dramatic. Okay? We don't have time for it. Being emotional. And you see, that's a part of our purging process, being purified. Hey, the Lord is getting all that, excuse my language, but the Lord he's getting rid of all that business out of us. Because it's going to take a real man to be able to withstand in that day. Because like the scriptures talk about how, hey, A man is going to be crying like a grown woman in that day. A man is going to be have his hands on his loins like a woman in travail. You see? Talking about grown men out here, man. Are going to be crying like women, going to be crying like children. Hell, you thought George Floyd was bad, crying for his mama. You see? We don't have time for that. And I'm speaking to myself. All right. I'm speaking to myself as well. But we don't have time for that, for the all that dramatic and being overly emotional and effeminate. All right, leave that to the women. As a matter of fact, let me get my apocrypha. Just so happen to bring it with me today. Or did I? So in the book of Tobit, which, you know, Tobit is a beautiful example, as one of many examples of how, hey, you just hold on, all right? And the Lord will bless you. No matter what you go through, just maintain your faith. Continue to, you know, push forward. Put forth your best foot in sincerity and in truth. And, hey, in the end, the Lord, he'll bless you. Tobit, that's is a beautiful example. You know, if you haven't already, I encourage you to read the book of Tobit. All right. But to get a quick example, I'm going to read the book of Tobit, chapter 3. Actually, book of Tobit, I think it's chapter 2. Matter of fact, that's not it either, I think. Yeah, Tobit chapter 10, Salakia. The book of Tobit chapter 10. I'm just going to get to the point. Now, for those that know, all right, no, but for those that don't know, hey, I encourage you to do your homework. All right, get some reading and some studying in. As far as context and what's going on, all right. But Tobit chapter 10, I'm going to start at verse 1. Now Tobit, his father, counted every day, and when the days of the journey were expired, and they came not, then Tobit said, are they detained, or is Gabriel dead? And there was no man to give him the money. Therefore he was very sorry. Then his wife said unto him, my son is dead, seeing he stayeth long. And she began to bewail him. So for a little context, all right, again, if you want the full story, a full account, I'll say, because I was just saying, you to these people that these are just words on a book. These are stories to these people, right? Fairy tales, all right, but these are actual accounts, incidences, all right. So for the full context of this incident, all right, like I said, you know, do your research, do your homework. But basically, this was in regards to Tobit, his son, all right, Tobias, right? I will start at verse 1 again. In Tobit 10:1. Now Tobit, his father, counted every day. And when the days of the journey were expired and they came not, then Tobit said, are they detained, or is Gabriel dead? And there was no man to give him the money. So you see, because basically after a certain period of time, you know, their son didn't come back in a reasonable amount of time, and basically they thought he was dead, right? It says, therefore he was very sorry. Then his wife said unto him, my son is dead, seeing he stayeth long. And she began to bewail him and said, because automatically, and again, this is a trait of women, all right, to be dramatic, overly dramatic and emotional, all right, because she thought worst case scenario, all right, she thought he was dead, right? She said, now I care for nothing, my son, since I have let thee go, the light of mine eyes. To whom Tobit said, hold thy peace, take no care, for he is safe. So you see, while, and you know, this has got to be a so-called black woman. She was probably screaming, "Oh God!" Well, you know, because they knew the, you know, they knew Yahweh Shemel Shah, but you know, just to speak in a modern term sense, all right? Because you know how Eve gets, you know how the so-called black woman gets, you know, oh that old God, oh Jesus, right? You know, because again, she thought her son was dead, so she, of course, being dramatic, all right, bewailing him, and she thought worst case scenario. But here it is, Tobit, like verse 6 said again, to whom Tobit said, "Hold thy peace, take no care, for he is safe." So you see, all right, because this is where, you know, and this is what we're learning. That's why I said earlier, we are learning to the Lord is teaching us to he's just removing all this bitchness out of us, man. All this effeminate, you know, being emotional, illogical, right? Irrational, right? Because as I often speak about how that's all, you know, one of many things in this truth we are learning. All right, something happens and we were quick to, you know, make rash decisions and, you know, think with the flesh. But we're learning to say to hell with the flesh and let the spirit kick in. All right. So when something happens, you know, just chill. Like the Lord said, be still and know that I am. All right. Because again, here it is. Anna, I believe that was Tobit's wife, if I'm not mistaken. Again, she's all worst case scenario, and she's freaking out, right? But Tobit, you know what he said, hold your peace. He's good, you know, he's all right, right? Trying to comfort her and console her, right? It says verse 7, but she said, hold thy peace and deceive me not, my son is dead. And she went out every day into the way which they went, and did eat no meat on the daytime, and cease not whole nights to bewail her son Tobias, until the 14 days of the wedding were expired, which Raquel has sworn that he should spend there. Then Tobias said to Raquel, let me go, for my father and my mother took no more to see me. So that was pretty much the point, just showing how emotional, all right, how dramatic, over the top. You see, we don't have time for that. All right, leave that to the women. Let them be all emotional and, you know, leave that to them. Right? Because like Tobit told her, hold thy peace. You know, he's good. But what did she say? You hold your peace, right? You know, it's like, you know, you're getting an argument with your woman. You tell her to shut up, and she tells you to shut up, right? You know, no, you shut up. No, you shut up, right? But nevertheless, just to show, you know, when it comes to being all emotional, and leave that to the women. All right, I'm gonna get another one before I go back to Acts. Before I go to Acts, I'm gonna go to this. That's in Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 9. So Jeremiah chapter 9, starting at verse 17. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider ye, and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for cunning women, that they may come. And let them make haste and take up a wailing for us. You see? So when it comes to all that being emotional and dramatic and over the top, leave that to the women. All right. Us as men, hey, we just got to stay the course. We just, stay single-minded, stay focused. And again, it is easier said than done because brothers catch hell. But when it comes to being all that emotional and, oh, what am I gonna do? And just, just all over the place, man. Leave that to the women. Like I said again in verse 18, Jeremiah 9:18, and let them make haste. Let them do all the worrying and panicking, and let them, leave that, get that over there. All right, let them deal with that. Hey, as men, hey, we've got more important things to worry about. We our mind is elsewhere, right? It says, and let them make haste and take up a willing for us. So you see, let them do all the crying and let them do all that, man. That our eyes may run down with tears and our eyelids gush out with water. So you see, this is not the time to be sitting in a corner and sucking your thumb and, just panicking and worrying and emotional, man. This is not the time for that. We're so close. All right. We're so close, man. And it's not to say that, because they say real men don't cry. Well, listen, that's a lie. All right. You read about men like King David. All right. Crying on this, the couch, the bed, hell, Yahushua. I always use the example of Yahushua being the alpha of all alphas. All right. Because a so-called alpha in this society, man, it's not an alpha in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Yahushua was the real alpha. He is the real alpha. And Lord willing, we're alphas under him. We're in training, alphas in training. All right. But even with that being said, the top alpha himself, here it is, Yahushua being an austere man. All right, the alpha of the alphas, okay. But look at Yahushua. Even when it came to Jake, hey, Yahushua told Jake, man, y'all don't even know what's getting ready to happen to y'all, man. And he said he looked at Jerusalem, he wept, man, he cried. So it's not to say that, because listen, every now and then you gotta let the tears out. That's cool, but don't be in that down and out spirit. That's that low vibration, that low energy, man. We don't have time for that. Let the women mourn. Let them worry and panic and let them deal with that shit. All right. We've got more important things to worry about, man. So going back to Acts chapter 14 in verse 22 again, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. Why do we need continual exhortation and upliftment? Because listen, again, brothers are catching hell around the board, but this ain't it. This is not it. All right. There's still things that need to be done. There's still work concerning the Father's business. Hey, it's going to be like this until the very end. As the scriptures say, he that endureth until the end. So until we get up in them chariots, man, hey, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, but fret not again. Like I said, fret not. Don't worry. Because, hey, the Lord, he's got our back. He's got our backs. All right. The Lord's going to take care of us. It says in that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Shema Shai. So as I read in 2 Ezra 7, all right, that day of doom, it has to take place before we obtain immortality. You see, these things have to happen. These things have to take place. All right. And we're going to be here. All right. Because there's no rapture before the tribulation period. No, we're going to be here. But Lord willing, we're going to be preserved. We're going to be protected. We're going to be all right. So we have nothing to worry about. And that's a part of the exhortation. Like, hey, look, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, putting our best foot forward in sincerity and in truth, we've got nothing to worry about. The Lord's going to fight all about us for us. All right. So with that, I saw a few comments on the comment board. All right, Shalom. Yahweh Shema Shah Brakathum. GMS in his likeness, the beautiful brother Damawathia. 1 Kings 2:2. 1 Kings 2:2. Go the way of all the earth, be thou strong therefore, and show thyself a man. You see, because I'm going to get another one. All right. I'm going to get another one. In 1 Corinthians. Because again, what they teach a man in this society, man, listen. The definition of a man in this society, okay, is contrary to Yahweh Shema Shai. 1 Corinthians 6:9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh Shema Shai? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, all right, emotional, dramatic, okay? These are characteristics prior to this truth, we were all victim of, beta men, beta males, all right? Well, again, we're alphas and trainings. So, going back to what the brother posted in 1 Kings 2:2, I go the way of all the earth, be thou strong therefore, and show thyself a man. Okay, point blank period. Man up, right? Because that's what it's going to take. All right, that's what it's going to take to be able to withstand what's coming. Brothers are going to have to be cold-hearted. Brothers are going to have to be cold-hearted. Brothers is going to have to, man, it's going to take a special spirit. It's going to have to be in brothers, man, to be able to withstand what's getting ready to happen out here. But hey, you got to man up, because these things have to happen. They're going to happen, whether we want them to or not, whether we like it or not. Job 38:8, Job 38:3, gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. So you see, because listen, Yahweh Shema Shai, if he's dealing with you, you elect man, whoever you are. All right, again, whether you want to or not, hey, the Lord, he's going to make you man up. He's going to force you to be a man. He's going to force you to man up. All right, as any father in the right mind, all right, any father in the right mind, he wants his son to be a man. Stop all that crying shit. Man up. You fall down, you get back up. This is what the Lord is teaching us. Jeremiah 1:17. Thou therefore gird up thy loins and arise, and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. Job 40:7. Gird up thy loins now like a man. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. That's it, man. 1 Peter 1:13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahweh Shai. So that's it. All right. We don't have time for that bitch shit. All right. That over emotional, over the top shit, man. Leave that to the women. Let them deal with all that panicking and worrying. Let them do that. Hey, our minds should be elsewhere. Focused, single-minded, sharp, on fire. All right. Because listen, shit is about to go down out here. It's about to go down out here, man. And we don't have time. We don't have room for, to let our emotions dictate how we move and how we feel. We don't have time for that. We're so close to the end, man. And, it's just, man, one thing I'm afraid of is coming so close, coming so far, just to bitch out, just to say I can't do it, just to nah, man, Lord willing, come too far, just to bitch out, man. Lord willing, I can't do it. I can't, Lord willing, man. Lord willing, that's not me. Because you're all gonna have some of those jakes, man. They've been in the truth a long time, and in those moments, Jacob's trouble, the MOTB, the mandation of the MOTB, but then they're gonna say, man, the hell with this. Let me get that. I'll take it. They come so far just to not make it. Imagine that conversation in the kingdom. Imagine that. Like, damn, I was so close. And this is something that me and brothers talked about some weeks ago. Like, man, because you had the Jake on the comma board a couple of camps ago. Talking about basically he was comfortable with being a 2/3 Slocky. He was comfortable with being of the innumerable multitude, which that's cool. That's okay. You know, that's cool. But why not fight for one of those? Why not fight for the #1 spot? You know, so to say. It's like, why would you enter a race just to win second or third place? You know, why not fight for the #1 spot? Why not try to, you know, get in first place? Who in their right mind wants to enter a race just to make it to second or third place? You know? And imagine that as the elector getting crowned, right? Those 144,000 men getting crowned, and you're sitting in the crowd. Again, that's cool. If you want to be in the innumerable multitude, that's fine. You know? But you could have been one of those pillars, man. You know, and to those that have that type of mindset, like, again, they're going to be watching in the crowd in the distance, like, yeah, I could have been there. That could have been me. Nah, man, you stay over there. You stay right there. You know, yeah, I could have been one of those. Man, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that, man. You know, the Lord wanted this was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to you, hopefully elect, Lord willing. Until the next one, Shalom.